Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Positive Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today it is the final vlog for the Amazing Readathon. I just ended the last vlog. Like literally I'm standing in the same place doing the same exact thing, and I'm about to start the chaos that is leg 8. We have 3 legs left. That's it. We're almost done. It's been a crazy month. I feel like it's like taken so long to get to this point, but also I still remember kickoff sprints like it was yesterday. The prompt for the next leg of the race is a book with script font, which it was like harder to do than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I have some, like romance is easy. So I did already pick my books. I don't know what team we're going for yet, so we'll see about that in a minute. But I wanted to put my poll up on Patreon and I was already at work. I am really trying to use the Amazing Readathon to read down my physical TBR because I have, you know, a very large TBR. So here we go. We have The Wilder Woman by Ruth Emery Lang. This is like a magical realism. I don't know what it is, but this was the feather on the Patreon poll. Then we have Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This is like a cozy spooky book. And I thought, you know what better time to get into the spooky mood than right now. So this was The Spider, obviously. Then we have, I put Built to Last on the options again, because I do really want to read this, and it's on my 23 to read in 23, so, you know. But this was The House, for obvious reasons. And then lastly, there's not a really good, like, tropical bird emoji. So we did a flower for Birds of California by Katie Cotugno. This has been on my shelf for so long. But it's a super short, like, contemporary celebrity type of romance, I think. I don't know, we'll see. Let's figure out which team we are going to be reading for. All right, so last time we read for red. We read for red. Yeah, there we go. Let's figure out what we're gonna read for next. All right, we are reading for yellow again. Hello, I'm on my lunch break. I'm eating Taco Bell right now. Apologize for that. I have a very short lunch break today and I need to update you. I finished Birds of California last night. I hated it. I gave it 2 stars. I'm unhauling this book. This was what I like to call the Walmart version of Malibu Rising. That's what it was. Like, it was not good. The characters were not developed. Certain authors should not do, go from YA to adult. Like Ashley Herring Blake can definitely do that, right? Katie Cotugno cannot. Now, I've never read any of her YA books, so like maybe that's bad too. But I've heard good things about them. But this one was not it. The sex scene was so cringe. Like, cannot. Absolutely not. So anyway, we're moving on. I'm going to be reading on rotation. I need to go back to the beginning of the audiobook and remember how to say her last name. She's Ghanaian, so I am gonna butcher it if I try to say it right now. I'm enjoying this. It's a contemporary story with a little bit of romance, but kind of more of a romance in the terms of like Queen of Hearts, which is also like a medical drama type. So it's more contemporary, more like about her finding herself and like getting through med school, and less about a romance. Like there's a romantic element involved, but not exactly. But I am liking it, and I'm really liking the commentary on how Black people are treated in the medical world. Like, she was in the emergency room and she was like, someone was sitting there, a Black kid, and he was not getting looked at. Nobody was paying attention to him, and she goes over there and like he's having a heart attack or something like that, something like really bad. And then immediately they like jump into action and he gets admitted, right? And she's like, was it because he was Black that you weren't paying attention to him? So I'm really appreciating that the commentary that's really going there, right? I'm only like 15% in already, like, and I'm already intrigued. And it's like a really fun like friend group that she has with her other med students. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm gonna finish up my lunch, and I have to go respond to an email, so I will talk to you later. All right, someone please remind me that this vlog is on 2 different memory cards, because I was about to start filming and then it was like, no, just kidding. JK. Anyway, we've reached the 9th leg. I dropped it this evening, and it's time to read a new book. So I've had 4 emojis that were the titles of books, and here we go. So the prompt was to read a book
with a destination or direction in the title. So first up we have The Library of the Unwritten, which was the book and the pin emoji. And I had to stretch that one a bit. Then we have The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates, which was the ghost of the house, right? And then we had The Church and the Fairy. I had to be really creative with this one, but that is God of Neverland. I thought that would work. I will probably use this one for sightseeing, even though it didn't win. And then the last one was funny. It was like a haircut, a person getting a haircut, and then a bridge. And so that was Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams, which is a thriller. That one did not. This one won. The Haunting of Ashburn House. So this is what we're going to be reading. Okay. I don't know what team I'm reading on for. Kind of hope it's blue, because this is a very blue book. But let's go spin, because we can. Purple. All right. So I actually really wanted to read for purple next prompt because I really want to read Emperor of Ruin, which is going to fit the next prompt. But that's okay. We will read for purple this time. All right. Also, I have a zit like happening right here on my nose. Why? Why? Okay.
Can I do a baked apple croissant? Can I get a grande pumpkin cream cold brew upside down? That's it.
I talk to myself on the floor just to feel less alone.
Thanks.
I swear that I'm trying my best. You tell me the stress shouldn't be a friend. I wonder where I'll end up next on the corner of home. So hold my hand tight for me. I'll let you know when to let go.
On our heaviest traffic days, especially.
Good morning. It's Saturday morning. I finished up last night. I finished up The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates to get to Tokyo, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think that if you like The Whispering Dead, I feel like it has a similar vibe to that, but without the other characters, like the relationship between the other characters. Like she's kind of very much on her own, and she has a really cool cat, and it was very interesting. And I think the paranormal twist that it took was really smartly done. So I don't think it's my favorite Darcy Coates ever, but I thought it was creepy. And like I definitely got like the isolation vibes to it. 'Cause she's like in a house up by the up on a hill with no phone service, and like afraid of the power going out and all this stuff. So she's like reliant on other people, but also can't really trust anyone else. So I really liked that. So I'm giving it 4 stars. Liked it. I think I want to like switch gears a little bit, and I think we're going to go with a fantasy, and we're going to read God of Neverland by Gamma Ray Martinez. This was one of the options for my like Patreon pick, and I was kind of hoping they would pick it. It's pretty short, so it'll be good for a sightseeing book. I think the audiobook is like 9 hours, and I haven't read a Peter Pan retelling in a very long time, so that's what we're going to do. I have a lot of things I want to do around the house today. I'm getting new light boxes, or like soft boxes, because I'm just struggling with my lighting situation here in the office, since A, moving my bookshelves, and B, like getting my new camera, because it's obviously a little bit more sensitive than a phone. So like the picture can get to a higher quality, but like currently it is not. So we're trying everything we can to fix it. Actually, like right now it doesn't look too bad, but when I like do my actual, like I'm pointing at my big bookshelves, that's when we struggle. Because of that, they're big, right? And so I need a place to be able to put them when I'm not using them. So I'm going to clean out the little closet area today. I'm going to take some of the stuff and put it downstairs in the basement, because most of it's just Pango stuff anyways, and I do all my Pango stuff downstairs. So, that's the plan for today. So that way tomorrow I can film once they get here. I have not started this book yet, so I don't know what it's about, but I do know that it's about Michael Darling, who is now an adult. Michael Darling, the youngest of the Darling siblings and former lost boy, now all grown up, must return to the life he left behind to save Neverland from the brink of collapse and keep humanity safe from magical and mythological threats, as well as answer the ultimate question, where is Peter Pan? So, I also found out that this is a duology, or possibly a series, I don't know. But the second one is like Alice in Wonderland. So I don't know how those two, I don't know if it's like a collection of standalone stories or if they are all interconnected. I don't know. I have hopes for this. I don't want to say I have high hopes because I've never read from this author and I haven't ever seen anybody talk about this book, but I want to like it. So that's what we're gonna go with. Okay. I only have a couple minutes left of the sprint, so I'm gonna go get some coffee and I'll talk to you later. Hi, hello. It's about 1:15, so much later. I've done my errands. Haven't done much reading. Literally brought like headphones so I could listen to my AirPod, or so I could listen to my audiobook. Didn't do it. So I'm only 11% into God of Neverland. It's very interesting though, but it's not a retelling of Peter Pan. It's just taking a lot of the lore of a lot of different stories. Sorry, you're gonna hear the lawnmower in the back. Derek's mowing right now. Because like right out of the gate, we were introduced to King Arthur. So that's a choice for a Peter Pan retelling. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, two things. The other night on Sprints, Neva had said something about Mr. Reading with Neva eating watermelon with honey and tahini, and so I decided to get some watermelon and did the same thing. Can confirm it is delicious. So there's that. Like, it's so good. There's a little bit of like spiciness of the tahini and like the tartness because it's lime salt essentially is what tahini is, and then that like honey. It's quite delicious, and then like it's just so refreshing. Watermelon is so good. And then there was a thing on my porch from Unplugged Book Box, and I completely forgot that I ordered this. I ordered this like 2 months ago. Completely forgot about it, but I got an email that said that they were doing a Night Circus box or some sort of Night Circus inspired something, and I was like, okay, if I was ever gonna do a book box, that would be the one. There was a reason why I didn't add the Night Circus as one of my favorites, my host favorites for Amazing Readathon. Don't know what it was. I had a thought process in my head. Maybe it was because I wanted like, I don't know, more recent releases. Don't remember. Well, that's a choice. They put the book at the very top of the box. Okay. Okay, so I've never heard of this book, but it's Preset by Serena Dolan. Can you give up a love you can't forget? Interesting. Why does the back only have blurbs? Okay, well, let's figure out what this book is about. It's gorgeous. Like, look at this. That's so pretty. Oh my, I don't even know what this book is, but like, hello. And then look at this. Okay. It kind of looks dystopian. It has a $27 price tag, so that means it's adult. After the last war destroyed most of the world, survivors formed a new society in 4 self-sustaining cities in the Mojave Desert. Everything in the 4 cities is carefully predicted and carefully controlled, even love. In the engrossing prequel to Reset, which I also don't know what that is, Preset weaves the tales of Eleanor the Crone and Eli the Planner before and after the creation of the 4 cities. Much has changed in the world and their relationship, but there are some truths that have yet to come to light. Fighting for change, yet still loving her husband, Eli the scientist, Eleanor travels to Alara. There she must separate reality from lies, memory from desires, and she tries to piece together the truth about what is happening in the 4 cities. That sounds really interesting, but I need to see if I need to read the first one first. Okay, but here is the other things. It's in here too. Reset is in here too. Okay, well that's cool. Here is the little Night Circus thing. The finest pleasures are always the unexpected ones. And it's a little like lunch container thing, which is perfect for me. And then we have this serum, this like face serum, aids in clearing acne and to help prevent breakouts. It's Morticia's face serum. A little bookish bookmark thing. Oh, these are the signed cards. That's really cool, but I'm afraid of like, is that gonna sit in our fridge? Then I got a face mask, which is cool. I'm a little bit upset that this is less Night Circus-y than I thought it was going to be. Like, there's just the one thing that was Night Circus, which is a bummer. But these books look amazing. This one's purple. So this is Reset, so I guess this is the first one. This one also has the really pretty sprayed edges. The end cards are gorgeous, and then oh my gosh, it's so like the foiling, it's not showing up on camera very well, but like it's beautiful. I've never heard of these books before, but now I want to read them. Unfortunately, they're not gonna meet a prompt. And I don't know that they might fit the next prompt. We shall see. Okay, well that's all I have for you right now. So I'm gonna go. My camera battery's dying. My camera's crooked because it's sitting on my dashboard. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. It's been a couple of days since I've vlogged. I am feeling the burnout of an end of month of a readathon that I'm, you know, hosting. Because like I just haven't wanted to pick up the camera, so I apologize for that. We are on I don't think I've talked to you since I was reading God of Neverland, and I ended up DNFing that book. I got a little over 50% of the way in, but I was so bored. So like I was gonna try to finish it before I dropped the Sydney prompt, and I didn't get to, and I was like, okay, I have an hour and a half left. I can just finish it, and then I'll move on to the Sydney book. And I didn't want to. Like, I was like, nah, or I could just not. Like, I didn't care about the book enough. So I just DNF'd it. I was about 200 pages in. I'm done. Like, I'm good. I'm good. It was boring. Like, it was so boring. And then, like, I think it was that there was so much going on that there was actually nothing going on. You know how bad, you know, have you ever had that book happen like that? There was so much involved. And I think that if we would have, like, honed it in on just Peter Pan, it probably would have been good, because like I like the idea of telling a Peter Pan story from like the future when the Darling children are adults, which is why I want to pick up Windy Darling by A.C. Wise, because Brittany really liked that one. So I definitely want to pick that one up sooner rather than later, because I think I actually got sent the arc of the second one, and I was interested in it, so I downloaded it, but then never read it because I realized it was a sequel. I DNF'd it. We moved on. Then we got to Sydney. I spun for the blue team. Here's the skin. And so yeah, we're on the blue team again. I had this genius idea to do for my Patreon poll the points that it would give the team, but without telling them what team I was on, because so then they had to like be strategic on like, okay, well, if she's reading for my team, then I really want this 1,000-point book, but if she's not on my team, I want the 700-page or 700-point book. See, but they didn't know, so I thought that was fun. So the first option was like 920 points, I think, something like that, and that was The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. The second one was Preset, which was the book that I had gotten in that unplugged book box because I like all of a sudden got super excited about it, and it's a sci-fi romance, so it would have worked. Then the third one was From Below by Darcy Coates. This one I think was like 988 points. I can't remember, honestly, and I'm filming on my phone right now. And then the last one, I decided to add Little Thieves again to, and that one was like 1,024 points. So like the big hitter. Nobody picked that one because they really did. They were afraid. Even though there's a large majority of my Patreon that's on the blue team. So, you know, they messed up on that one. Anyways, so From Below won. And it's taken me a little bit longer than I would have wanted to read this book, but I did finish it this morning. I wanted to vlog yesterday and like update you guys, but I had the worst headache, and I think I know why, looking at the sky today, because it's very smoky. I don't know if you can see, but like that's supposed to be a mountain right there, and you can't see that. Like it's very smoky, and that's probably what is, because like my head still kind of hurts. So should I be drinking coffee because of that? Probably not. But am I going to? Yes, because I can't function without it. It's fine. But I did finish it on my way to work this morning, and like, whew, that was a ride. Oh my god, that book was isn't my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite Darcy Coates, because I don't know that it's as good as Voices in the Snow, but I'm still giving it 5 stars. Okay, so I've read more horror this year than I probably have ever, so I kind of know like the formula that horror takes, and like the last usually like 30 minutes to 45 minutes of an audiobook is like the resolution and like the calm down period, kind of like let's get things back to normal. No, this book was like balls to the wall the entire time. Like I looked at the audiobook and it was like, you have 13 minutes left, and I was like, I do?
because we're all still almost dying here. I was stressed like the whole time. This book is so good, especially for like those Titanic girlies that really was obsessed about not like the actual Titanic, but the expeditions to go down to the Titanic. If you are obsessed with that, like Ocean Gate, my friends, this is sci-fi horror is probably one of my favorite genre blends when it comes to horror, specifically when it is underwater or space horror. And that is because like there's just so much unknown, and your brain does so many things when it's lacking oxygen. So for so long they're like, is this an underwater zombie, or is this my mind playing tricks on me because my oxygen is running low? And this book, like, Darcy has such a good way of like building the tension up with some of the most minute things, like things that you wouldn't think are terrifying, and just like circumstances like a storm or something like that just adds to the complexity of like the situation. 5 stars. This was good. I've been talking for like 8 minutes already. It's fine. I think Darcy is a really good place to start with horror. If you're not a type of person that likes slashers or like blood and body gore and stuff like that. Like there's some of that, but not to the extent that other horror books have. Her books are always very psychological. They're very character driven. You actually like care about these characters. You care about what's happening to them. Like there's one character that like he was just trying to get back to propose to his girlfriend. Like that's what he wanted in life. And you're just like, oh my God. So anyway, I do think that Darcy Coates is a great place to start with horror. And so if you're, wanting to start the spooky season early, I do think it's funny that I ended up, because of like the DNF in between, I ended up reading 2 Darcy Coates back to back. So that was cool. So anyway, I think that the next book I'm going to read is The Blood Trials, if I can finish it. Like I have sprints tonight and tomorrow night, so theoretically I could definitely finish them. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is going to be The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. This is the one that like I wanted people to read. Like I wanted people to pick for me. It's also a POC author, so it'll get a little bit of bonus points, and it's a very blue cover because the back of it is completely blue. I don't have the book with me, but I'll show you when I get home. I think that even though it's like 500 pages, I should be able to finish it. I have sprints tonight and tomorrow night. Like I'm hosting the sprints tonight and tomorrow, so like I should be able to finish it, as well as like I work in the office both today and tomorrow, and so I should be able to get some audiobook time. So we'll see. I do need to go to work, so I'm gonna go do that. All right, I'll talk to you later.
The readathon is over. The lighting is horrible, but it's fine. It is the end of the night on August 31st. I have finished my last book. I finished The Blood Trials. I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. I will talk about it more probably tomorrow. That's rude. Anyway, but I did really, really like it. I think that it has a similar vibe. It's like if Fourth Wing and Red Rising were a book, that would be this, because obviously it doesn't have dragons, but it has a very similar vibe, I feel like, to Fourth Wing. Anyway, I'm very, very tired because it's like 11:30 and I'm ready to go to bed because I do have to work tomorrow morning, but I'll do like a final closeout thing, and I'm gonna like say who won in the next clip. But yeah, it's been a crazy month, and I'm feeling a lot of feels right now. So anyways, but I am gonna call it a night, and I will come back to you when I am a little bit more put together and not exhausted. So anyway, okay, all right, bye. Hello everybody, and happy end of Amazing Readathon. It's now September 2nd. I needed a day off, not gonna lie, but I wanted to come on, talk to you about my final thoughts about Blood Trials, and also wrap up the Amazing Readathon. So let's start with this, because this is easy. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. Like I said, this is kind of like Red Rising meets Fourth Wing without dragons, which is the vibes. And with it being kind of more of like this sci-fi romance. Obviously Red Rising does not have as much romance in it, at least in the first book. I haven't read past it, we don't know. The main character is a badass, which you know that's kind of a buzzword for me. I do love a badass female character. And I think that it was extremely nuanced in its commentary and its like discussion of like social norms. The ending of this book, the twist and the turns and the like the way that this book ended, like I immediately want to pick up the duology. Or the second book in the duology. I'm not going to, because I have way too much to do this month. but I do really, really want to. It ended on a cliffhanger and it made me want to jump right into it. So, you know, that's how a first book should go, right? So with that said, the Amazing Readathon is over. August is over. My August wrap up is going to take so long to film. I read a total of 29 books and like 8,300 pages. I don't even know what it was at this point. It was a lot. And I know that there were some people that read way more than that. There are like multiple people on multiple teams that read over 100 books in the month of August, which is absolutely insane. The Amazing Readathon was able to break year-long slumps for people, and I'm just so glad that everybody had so much fun. So we're gonna try to not make this sound like an awards speech, but I am so grateful for each and every one of you that participated. When I started this, I was like, it's gonna be really awkward if only 20 people like show up and participate, and you know, there's 5 teams. It's gonna be really small and it's not gonna be a lot of fun. And then like there's over 500 people that participated in this. We did like almost 9,000 books. It was insane. The numbers for this month, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you. I could not have done this readathon without all of my amazing hosts. I will have everybody linked down below, so you should definitely go check them all out. They're going to continue doing reading sprints, and like they have their own readathons going, so like go check them out, go support the creators that helped me with this project. Also a huge shout out to Cassidy over at Covers with Cassidy. I'll have her linked down below. But she was the genius behind all of the spreadsheets, and I probably would have broken them. So again, couldn't have done this readathon without her. I have already posted the winners in the Discord as of this time. I was gonna try to do it on here and then announce in the Discord, and that just didn't end up working today. But congratulations to the red team who won, despite the multiple sabotages that they had. They were sabotaged the most. With that, the Amazing Readathon has come to a close for 2023. I am going to try to bring it back in 2024 because it was such a huge success and everybody loved it so much. There will be a little bit of an extension of the Amazing Readathon over on my Patreon. This month I will be posting the Amazing Readathon tell-all video, which is where I will go over who won each leg by how much. Like there's a whole bunch of stats in there, but there's also a ton of like Easter egg reveals, things that I had put into my vlogs or thumbnails and stuff like that all meant something. I'll also have a Q&A in that my patrons have been asking certain questions, and so I want to answer all of those. So that will be dropping this month, and then also from the 15th to the 17th we will be doing a Patreon readathon. We'll be doing Scatagorathon, and the prompts that we are using for Scatagorathon are all theories that you all thought were prompts during the Amazing Readathon. The readathon will be available to all tiers, and the tell-all video is exclusive to the top tier Patreons. That is all I have for you today over here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating and being a part of the Amazing Readathon. I hope that you guys all participate next year. And I also hope that you guys stick around because I have some fun content planned for the rest of the year. If you are new here and you have not subscribed, there is a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.